Good morning, Sarah Hepla. I'm a little slow in the
Oh, did
uptake
I
here.
bother? Did I interrupt you? Are you
Just
surprised?
just staring out the window. It's early, man. It's 7:17 in the morning here.
It's still dark here in Dallas,
Okay.
Texas.
Yeah, but we just had to talk. It was so important. The topics that we have are so important, like mosquito bites,
Burning, burning.
burning, burning,
Speaking of
burning.
burning, how are the mosquitoes in your part of the world?
Well, apparently they're quite bad. As I said, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. I don't get mosquito bites. They
I
don't like.
don't hate you because you're beautiful. I hate you because you don't get mosquito
That's right.
bites.
They don't like me. There's like a force field around me, and then when they do like manage to pierce that force field, they bite me for a minute. They're like, ugh. And then even if they do bite me, nothing happens. Meanwhile, our friend Matt Welch is suffering. He's
No,
suffering.
I'm the same way. I get
Yeah,
absolutely devoured. So what kind of blood type is he?
I don't know. But I'm B positive, and so is my daughter, and she does not get mosquito bites either. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it's like an O. When you're an O situation, you
They
are
love
just
you.
like, I mean, it's crazy. The mosquitoes here in Dallas, it's like not even that hot. It's like in the low 90s, but the
Oh,
mosquitoes are
yes.
just
Balmy.
unbearable. But it's usually like 103 by now.
Is it humid down there or no?
That's right now is
Yeah.
so humid.
Okay.
And normally
Yeah.
it's not. Like there's
Yeah.
just been like this weirding, climate weirding, you know. We feel
Climate
more
weirding.
the place feels more like Houston. It's just so humid. And and I have this garden that I like to, you know,
But the garden probably likes the
putter
humidity.
around in. And I'll just go out for 5 minutes and come back in, and
Can't do it. Can't do
you can't do it. I bought this zapper.
it. Mm-hmm.
I bought a zapper, but it has a 3 prongs. So I've got to figure out how to plug it in outside. I have a 2-prong extension cord,
You
but
could just get a 3 to 2. It's a little
yeah, I
tiny
know.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
just it's you know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be complex. It's not like, "Oh, let me watch a YouTube video." It's just like I haven't
You have to
done
go to the
this thing
hardware
yet.
store. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we've given everybody the weather report, um, we are here to discuss some important issues. Yes?
Absolutely.
Um, for instance, I don't know why I'm making this connection, but let's say you were considerably overweight. It would be
This
harder.
is already I already don't like
It's
this.
already on the
I
way.
don't like that. I don't like the way you set that up.
Listen, what I'm saying is if you are considerably overweight in this heat, it would be even harder. It would be hard,
Oh,
right?
well, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of things, even just simple day-to-day things become a little harder. I think this
Where are you
often
going with this?
I'm just talking about I'm look, Sarah, it's 7:15 in the morning. My segues may not be grade A.
Let me try it. Did you see Jennifer Love Hewitt at the premiere of I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I did because you sent it to me. It probably would not have crossed my radar. I did. I saw it. Yes.
Interesting. So that was an interesting moment. You know, Jennifer Love Hewitt, very famously a 90s hottie, was in a show called Party of Five. And you know, she was a coming of age for a lot of men of my era, of my generation. When I was in college, guys would talk about Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I was like, really? Because she's on the show Party of Five and she like played a sister. And I was like,
No, because she's hot.
why? And I was like, oh no, because she's
She's
like hot.
super
Like,
hot.
she's like super hot. She's
Yeah.
got like a bod that like to end all bods. Okay. So anyway, she's now 46. She's a mother of 3. And they're doing a sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. She shows up at the premiere and she looks like a really beautiful 46-year-old mother of 3. Okay. And I did notice, it's the first thing I noticed. My brain just clocked, wow, she's gained weight.
Yeah. And
And
like
but she's still curvy. She's got a really nice figure. It's just not the kind you associate with actresses.
no, and it's also I think you and I were texting about it. It's sort of, when you go to Target now, and I know this because I keep trying to find a bathing suit at Target and I have yet to find a good one. The models that they have standing right there are not the model, meaning the mannequins, are not the mannequins that they used to have. Kind of, curvier, larger. than what we're used to. We grew up with like the stick figure models, right?
Mhm.
But so when you walk in, I look and I'm like, well, that's like sort of, I wouldn't say like the average woman's body, but it's fairly, it's a different size. She's differently sized than she was.
She's differently sized than she
Yeah.
was, but I wouldn't say it's an average body, and I wouldn't even say it's normal. I think she's unusually curvy. And it's funny because there were two kind of lanes of reaction to this woman. Um and they were both pretty extreme. Like I was on the show The Dumb Zone yesterday with my
Mhm.
friend Jake was like, "Oh, that picture melted our group chat." Meaning that like he sent it around to a bunch of guys that he went to college with, and they all flipped out over how hot she looked.
Now,
Yes.
okay,
And the oh yeah, like people lost their minds over how hot she looked.
okay,
And then there was this lane that was pretty predictable that was like, I know what you did last summer, dot dot dot, raided the refrigerator.
yeah,
You know. So it's a really interesting tension between a conventional magazine um form of extreme skinniness and a pretty well known amongst men love of bigger curves. Like I've had so many conversations with men about this over the years where they're like, women don't understand what men like at all. Like they don't get it at
yeah.
all.
Yes, I'm gonna yes, and so I would pick a third lane between, oh my God, look how hot she looks, and you raided the refrigerator. She looked very, very different. It wasn't like she looked
She
like,
didn't look very, very
okay,
different. She looked 20.
Sarah,
No, I'm
Sarah,
sorry. I'm sorry. She looked heavier, but she didn't look very, very different. She's 30
may I finish my
years older.
may I finish my thought, please? Okay. She looked very, very different because look, when we're 7 years old, we're a certain size and then we grow. And sometimes we're fat people, we're skinny people, we're muscular people, we're not, we're athletic, we're not. She does not look like the same type of person she was. It is not axiomatic that you become 20 years older and you look 30 or 40 pounds heavier. It's not. Some people will, some people won't. She looked like a very different person to me. I wouldn't have even recognized her, actually. She did not look like the same person to me. And
That's so strange to me.
it wasn't, it wasn't, it wasn't the heaviness per se. It was that I couldn't picture that person becoming that person. She just did not look the same. Like she didn't even look like, oh, she had that body and that body becomes that body when you get heavier. She looked radically different to me. And
I'm so confused because I'm looking at pictures of her and she looks so similar. And I don't even know
well,
how to respond to that. Um, okay, so we agree to disagree on that. You
yes,
think she looks
sure.
super different. I think she looks totally the same but older. And like aged in a really natural, like I think one of the things about it that is generating so much conversation is that there are so many middle-aged actresses who have gone to some invisible and some a little bit too prominent, you know, ways of maintaining their youth. Like the Botox or the Ozempic is so obvious, and she just looks like somebody that has naturally aged.
Um, I think what some of the reactions to, which I think is kind of normal if you think about it. I mean, first of all, I don't know how many people for the past 20 years have been thinking about Jennifer Love Hewitt. Maybe they have. Maybe they've got a picture of her on their screen because she was hot and whatever, or they love the show or whatever it
Sure.
is. Um, but she's also one of the reasons she's known is because she was very hot, right? And she's now put on for this premiere. She's wearing a banging dress. It's like skin tight. It's super sparkly. I mean, it's a great dress. And she's obviously wants to look nice. I mean, you're on the red carpet, you want to look nice. That's one of the reasons she's there. And she was known for something that 20 years later, you might still think it's incredibly hot, as the Dumb Zone guys do, but other people are like, I knew you as this thing. Now you're another thing, and I have to adjust it in my mind. For
Mhm.
instance, let's say you were an incredible basketball player like 20 years ago, and now all of a sudden I'm bringing you out again. I might expect you to be a basketball player because that's what I know you as.
Sure.
So I understand people are seeing her and going, wait a minute, this doesn't, I understand it's been 20 years and I'm not a moron. People age, but she's, I can't get there. I can't get there because I don't care to get there, or maybe I'm snarky, or maybe I want to shame women because they get older and I want them to never get older because in my mind they're supposed to always service my idea of beauty. I understand that you put her in a situation where it was confusing to people. It's just like, wait, I have to adjust this now, and maybe I don't want to take the time, or maybe I'm just going to be mean, or maybe I don't really care. So maybe that's why it was controversial. I don't know.
I think your point about the fact that she was kind of like had disappeared for 20 years, and then it's like we wanted her to be in the same category. Like the sports stars is a good analogy, because you see these football stars, NBA stars, and you're kind of like, oh, they're older. Like
Yeah,
they got paunchy, or they got, they're a little like gray around the temples or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's weird. I still think of them. You have
right.
this image of them emblazoned um on your sort of consciousness. Um, but I mean, it's interesting because what I'm learning in this conversation is that you and I thought we were going to be talking about two different subjects. So it sounds like you thought we were going one way with this. I thought we were going another way. All I had done was send you the thing and say non-aging, non-Ozempic actresses. And then we just were going to talk about it. And because there's also this thing with Lena Dunham that we'll talk about in a second, which I think is a related and in some ways entirely different thing.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
to me, what I really loved seeing about the Jennifer Love Hewitt dialogue, because I actually didn't see a lot of people making fun of her. I saw people defending her against people making fun of her. So like
good.
this is such a social media phenomenon where one asshole has come out early and been like, you're fat, LOL. And then 1,000 people have descended and scored points off the fact that she's still beautiful. She still looks great. And I, at this point, don't know whether they're saying that because they don't want people beating up on Jennifer Love Hewitt, because that's just cheap and, whatever. So I was really interested when Jake said yesterday, like, oh, that melted the group chat, because that was telling me that offline, not for points, there were a group of elder millennial guys that were like, hubba hubba. And this is very interesting to me as somebody that has been many weights over the years and has had many conversations with men about whether or not that affects their my desirability. And what I've heard and never believed is that it doesn't, as much as I think. And and then when I see this in other women, I'm like, "Oh, that's really interesting." Because and then of course within the weight ranges with myself, one thing that happens is I get a lot more confident and a lot more flirtatious and open when I'm a smaller size. When I'm a larger size, I want to hide. I want to wear big baggy clothes.
Mm.
I'm the erotic energy is turned off. But I'm sure that both of us
And
have known.
you're the one that's turning it off
Oh,
because
100%.
other people are like, "Hi."
Well, it's preemptive though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's preemptive. It's you don't like me, therefore I'm not going to pretend I'm somebody that people like. And then if a guy is like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "What's your angle?" But like
What,
when
you want
I
money?
which by the way, there's like a Yahoo story. There's a Yahoo story that's like many of the comments were split along different racial lines. Black men were very complimentary of Jennifer Love Hewitt's size. White men and especially white women were not very particularly fans, and that has been my experience entirely.
Oh, I think that's true. My former sister-in-law, Hillary, at one point, she was kind of like my size always, and she gained some weight. She's like, Nancy, it's kind of crazy. Like, I go to the supermarket, guys are like, hi, how are you? Like, she couldn't believe how putting on 15 pounds, like, it's like, it was a radar.
Isn't
It,
this true of
it's
women
just,
when they're pregnant and their boobs get bigger?
girl, those boobs, man, those boobs. Now, okay, you obviously, you already know you like walk around with these boobs all day long. For the rest of us who have little like champagne glass
You
size
have great
boobs,
boobs.
yes, thank you very much. I'm lucky that way. But man, when I was nursing, I was like, dude, I rule the world. And maybe they're gonna stay. Maybe when I stop nursing, they'll stay. Yeah, they don't stay, but they are pretty great.
I have known husbands that were like
Please
so
keep nursing.
anti-plastic surgery and they were like, nobody should do that. Nobody should get that. And then their wives got pregnant and they were like, oh, if you wanted to just do that, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So it's funny. I'm glad we're talking about this, but I think even 14 minutes in, I can feel and sense, the whole world of women's bodies and weight and desirability and sexualization and all of these things is so studded with landmines and also different perspectives. And if I can share a story from yesterday, my
Yes,
appearance on that podcast, it was very interesting and very eye-opening in a way that is weird to even talk about, but I want to talk about it with you because I
please.
think you'll have some insight. Okay. So I've been going on that podcast. It's a sports podcast. It's got a rabid male fan base of super fans. Like they're in the comments, they make up inside jokes. They're great and mostly nice, but at some point things went south with me on that show. I had not a fight, but like a civil disagreement with one of the hosts about girls' athletics, of all things. It was stupid. It was a dumb argument. And in the comments, there started to be this chant that was like, less Sarah Hepola. Less Sarah Hepola. We don't like her anymore. Less Sarah Hepola. And I was learning to take this. You are much better at taking criticism than I am, I think. I think you're just oh, and by the way, you got shouted out on the podcast yesterday as a good follow on Twitter.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
sweet. Okay.
So I am not I am more of a sensitive flower. And,
You are.
and I have been for
You
most of
are.
my life.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been a long walk for me to be like, "Oh, you hate me? That that doesn't have anything to do with me. That has to do with an idea that you have or it's taken a really long time." So I considered this kind of wind sprints in breaking the people pleaser in me was like all these, people would come up to me a lot and be like, I am not one of those people that hate Sarah Hepola. And I
Oh,
was like, okay, well, this is interesting information. Thank you for liking me. Apparently there's all these other people that hate me because I don't read the comments. But I
smart.
posted a picture once with the guys, and apparently my sweater was very curvy or tight. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, more Sarah Hepola. We love Sarah Hepola. We want more Sarah Hepola. And somebody they write, there's all these letter writers that go into the show. It's if this show, it's called The Dumb Zone, and it's hilarious. These guys are so funny and they're really great broadcasters, Jake and Dan. They're so smart and wonderful. But it is like glutted or with this manosphere dude talk, right? That I kind of enjoy being around, but it can be
Yeah.
a little bit like, oh, you guys are hurting my feelings. So, okay. So, anyway, so they apparently some guy wrote in and said something about loving Sarah Hepola's absolute milk sheds.
Milk sheds.
I have no idea what that word means.
Wait, what? You don't know what milk shed means?
No, do you?
It's your boobs.
No, I know that, but what's a milk shed? I don't get the
Oh, I don't know.
analogy.
People like we could truly, we're not going to do it, but I think I did this once with someone's like, just come up with all the alternative words for boobies. Like there's a he just made it up. A milk
Well,
shed.
milkers are one that I've heard before.
Well, a milk shed, maybe where you milk the cow. It's a little shed.
That
That's where you
doesn't
milk the
sound
cow.
good. And then the guys
Well,
were saying, "No, it's good. It's good." They were like, "We promise you it's good." But it was the most like I put a video clip on Twitter.
oh, I want to
They well,
see it.
actually they did, and then I
Yeah.
retweeted.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, I'm gonna go there. But after I retweeted it, I know like there was one guy that like follows me on Twitter and he was like defending my honor. And it's like I know there's gonna be a lot of women looking at that video and being like, I can't believe they denigrated her like that. And here's the thing. People have opinions about my body, whether I want them to or not, whether they say it or not.
Yeah.
I have known since I was 10 years old that one of the first things you're going to learn about me is that I have big boobs. And it happened to suck that my secret, which was that I had big boobs, was something I could never hide.
Yeah. That's not a secret.
It
It's
wasn't
not
a
a secret.
secret.
No.
We have all this conversation about guys and their dicks. And can you imagine if we could, not you and I.
Yeah. I was like, what, we do?
No, 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 never actually.
No.
Never. I don't think we've ever had a conversation about
No.
that. No, what I meant was it's culturally such an idea, right? Mostly with men. And can you imagine if you could see that?
See what? Oh, that, yes. Well, you can, right? Is what you're saying. Yours is right
With
there.
women, your secondary sexual characteristics are visible.
Right.
And quantifiable.
Two things. I read recently that they wanted to do, I don't know where this was and what country, Scandinavian country maybe. They wanted to do a kind of a survey, gather some data for men that watched porn and men that didn't watch porn. But they couldn't do it because they couldn't find any men
Stop it.
that didn't watch porn. Men, okay, it's
I'm
true.
sorry.
Okay, men are more than women. Men are visual creatures.
They
It's
really
how
are.
it's how they organize the world. I would also like to say something, and I don't know if this is empirically true. I can't recall off the top of my head ever seeing a comment or fielding a comment about my body. My eyes, maybe, but not like that's not. People do
Yeah,
not
that's
see me, and
interesting.
they might say you're pigeon-toed. That's like the
Oh,
biggest
they're so
thing
cute
that.
though. You are, but it's so
It's like,
cute. She's a little bit. That's one of the first things I noticed about Nancy when I met her. First of all, I was like, "Oh my god, she's just as beautiful in person." And
shush.
then she was walking around our apartment. And I was like, "Oh, and she's got the cutest little pigeon toes in her Converse shoes."
Yeah.
So
But it's
yeah, that is interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, well, so what's so interesting is we've entered this world where it feels so dangerous to talk about what a woman's body is. And yet we talk about it all the time in coded ways. So what I was going to say is you have thin athletic build. That's how I would describe you.
yeah,
And you're medium height to tall.
yep. Which
And
is like boring. Okay, great. Like
but
there's
your
nothing to talk
eyes
about here.
but your eyes are
There
by
we go.
far your most dominant feature.
Blink, blink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
And so like it's like anime eyes. And so and that's the one thing you notice. Well, what's my most prominent feature? It's my big personality. Everybody knows it. It's my curvy
Yes.
lashes. No,
Yeah.
it's my hourglass figure.
And
And
as a matter of fact, I think your figure is very much like Jennifer Love Hewitt's. I
mhm.
mean, I haven't seen you in a dress like, oh, actually, I have seen. You're actually curvier than she is, though. Your waist is, you have a little tiny, you're one of these people that's buxom and petite at the same time. You have
That's
this
exactly right. Yeah.
tiny little waist. Like my waist is bigger than your waist because you're just, anyway. Well, it's interesting that you said that no matter what we say, like we're not going to talk about women's bodies. We are. Let's make it a rule, as I think they said on Seinfeld at one point. We are always going to talk about women's bodies. We may not say it out loud, but we're thinking it. Okay, and no matter how much we say in the culture, or the culture says, or the chatterati says, you're not supposed to do that. You're not
I
allowed to
know.
do that. It is going to happen. Okay, I think if we accept that, then we can move a little faster here. And I don't know if that's okay if we can segue right here to Lena Dunham.
Yeah, which is a whole other can of worms. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hey, listeners in listener land, and for those of you on YouTube, maybe watching it, thanks for being here. This is the end of the free portion of this episode. If you would like the entire episode, got to head over to Substack. That's smokeandpodcast.substack.com. Become a paid subscriber. Many ways to do that. You get the full episodes and you get some other niceties and etc. and etc. And if you are over here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button as well. We appreciate it. Tell your friends. Thanks.